We have all this stuff. Hey, Joe Ducey and producer KJ here with the Let Joe Know ABC15 team, doing something we call What's Bugging You, because we get about 1,000 complaints a month.
At least.
People writing in, wanting answers, wanting help with questions, things that they have going wrong, or complaints that they have. And a lot of people have questions, and we can't get back to everybody. We try, but this is an opportunity for you to ask questions, consumer questions. We might be able to help you with, answer anything from about that rental car that you had, and you brought it back, and what typically happens in those situations, you brought it back, you didn't cause the damage, but they say you did cause the damage, those kinds of things, to rental issues and not being able to
get deposits
back. And we see a lot of those kinds of things. So this is, if you've got a problem and it's bugging you, let us know about it right now. We'll try to get to it, right?
Yeah, we're also talking about the 3-day cancellation rule, which is shrouded in mystery, apparently.
Oh yeah, everybody thinks you can cancel anything in 3 days. Well, I got 3 days to cancel, don't I? No. Especially car deals. People think you do. No, you don't. But we'll get into that. We're also going to talk about these things. The way that people are getting into your accounts now, they're posing as businesses that are renewing things, or what's the recent one? It was something basically, hey, we will renew today at $317. If you have an issue with this, give us a call. And they have a fake number up there. What else?
What else?
You're like, I don't know. We're also going to be looking at travel club membership cancellations, and we're going to look at, this is a great one, man, with these deeds. You need to have your deed recording. If you own a house, and
that's actually getting really scary.
I know, but
we hear too much about it.
It is. That's like deed stealing. Mm-hmm. But this is a service that wants to record your deed for a certain amount of money, and you don't really have to do it. And the last one, we're going to look at HOAs. Yeah. Isn't that great? And we may even call a scammer. Let's get to that one.
Yeah.
We think somebody's scamming. All right. First one coming up here. If you could put that up for us, please, Julie, that'd be great. It's a subscription yearly renewal for $349.99, which I never bought. I get a phone call or an email yearly. Find out if this is truly a scam. In the past, I've called them and they argue with me that I didn't purchase software when I didn't. Okay. So what's typically happened in these situations is, as I said, a business is scamming, writing you, saying that you renewed something, or you should be renewing something, and
you owe something. Act now. You're going to lose your privileges.
Yeah, and then they give you a number or a phone, something to call. Let's go to the next one, Julie. This is another one that came. I keep getting this from Geek Squad, which really isn't Geek Squad, and I realized I couldn't answer back afterwards. What else did it say there? I hadn't renewed this in years, but I keep getting it. I didn't call that 888 number for fear I would be in a bad scam, which is great. I'm glad this person really,
thought about
does what we want them to do, and that's kind of thinking about taking a step back in these situations. But Geek Squad's often used because it's a common, way that people get work, I guess, done on their computers and all.
And that one and the previous one, kind of the big thing is like this one. I hadn't renewed it in years.
Yeah.
The other one, subscription I never bought.
Yeah,
those are safe bet that if you haven't paid for it, then why would you renew it? So
scam. And let's take a look at the invoice that's coming up. This is the Geek Squad invoice that they sent, and there's a number here, an 888 number, but it says your membership with Geek Squad will renew today at $370. It's about to be what's that say, debited from your account by today. The debited amount, it's also the wording here. It's just not the word a way a professional company would do. Yeah, let's see. Your membership at Geek Squad will renew today, and $317 is about to be debited from your account by today. The debited amount will be reflected within the next 24 hours. In case on any further clarifications or block the auto renewal service, please reach out. Yeah, again, the wording to us at this customer service number. So they're trying to create an urgency here. Like $317 is going to come out of your account unless you do something. And there's a big old number there to call. And we're going to call them right now just to see what we can do.
I just
here.
like how it says the payment type plastic card.
Yeah.
Like not debit or credit card, just plastic card.
Yeah, most of these people are not from the country. They're outside, and that's the hard part. When you get scammed by these guys, it's really hard for law enforcement to find them. Let's just see if they're still in business. Oh, okay. Darn, man, those are usually fun. We didn't get to them in time. Verizon Wireless, the number you called is not in order anymore.
Well, it got shut down, hopefully.
Yeah, it got shut down. So they're in and out. But yeah, I mean, I love the fact that, this started like 3 years ago, probably 4 years ago when these things started. And now people just call these numbers back and give them all kinds of grief, and like just unload on these people because they're just scamming you. But anyway, the way to do this, if you get something you think possibly could be legitimate, don't answer, don't call this 888 number, don't email the number that they give you here. If you think there's an issue with Geek Squad or if you dealt with them in the past, contact Geek Squad at their legitimate Best Buy number. Contact them that way.
Well,
if you never dealt with them, don't worry about it.
So we have this comment from Andrea who asks, is it true that scammers can call and record your voice? So technically anyone can record your voice.
Mhm.
That's something that we've kind of talked about recently, even more so with AI, is that we talked to an expert at ASU who studies this, is kind of one of the leading guys in the nation. He was saying, with like as little as 3 seconds, people can use your voice, dub it, and then use it to maybe, send that phone call using your voice to your grandparents, your parents, and use it as scams because then it sounds like you.
Using it in other words that you've never said.
Yeah, so you don't even have to like record the sentence.
Right.
It was crazy. And we kind of did some of the testing with him was, you could have 3 seconds of Joe saying, "Hi, I'm Joe Ducey." And once you get his cadence and everything like that, you can use those 3 seconds and make him say any sentence.
Basically they're going to take it.
He's ripe for the taking.
I've got thousands of stories out there or whatever, so they're going to be able to use anything from me. But in this case, yeah, they can. And there was that scam going around where, and I think that's probably what this person's talking about a little bit, is when you could say, they ask a yes or no question, you say yes or no, and then it sounds like they can use it in another setting, saying like you said yes to a transaction or a scam. And you didn't do that. You were whatever. So they're recording you and then using it inappropriately. So yeah, they could do that. I haven't seen a heck of a lot of that right now. Hopefully we won't see that more in the future. All right. Let's keep going. You want to do yours?
Yeah, let's go to the next one. So we're talking about move out deposits. We get a lot of people who kind of ask questions about this. So this one person wrote in and said, I recently moved out and want my security deposit back and I've been ignored, yet they keep harassing me to sign a new contract, even though I moved out on September 25th. So I don't know anything about the new contract, but I just wanted to focus on kind of the move out deposits. And something that some people have said, they go in and maybe there's just so many little things that you can do to protect yourself, like take pictures. Like you have to request a move out inspection. You need to be there. You have the right to be there. To set the date.
Yeah, don't let them do it without you. You need to be there during that.
You need to be there. Take video, take pictures.
Before,
it's all timestamped.
And after.
Right, before and after when you move in, so you can say. I mean, even I did it. I was actually talking about this with some people the other day. In an old apartment, we moved in and there was still remnants of like crayon on the wall. So when we walked in, you take videos. All the pictures have timestamps. Then we moved out. They're like, well, you have to pay to have that painted. And I was like, well, no. But then the next slide, I also wanted to say some people who are, they never know how long they have to wait. So in by law, you have 14 days after your move out to kind of get your deposit. And those are Saturday counts as a business day. They're all business days. And another thing that I think a lot of people don't necessarily know is that you have a right to see an itemized list. Like if you're going to be charged for damages, like if I was going to get charged for that paint, I have a right to say like what I'm being charged, exactly what it's going to, and all these things. And you have the right to dispute it. And then something else I wanted to kind of bring up is, and we also tell people this all the time, there are other advocates. Well, we also are an advocate, but Community Legal Service of Arizona tenant advocates, people who will take it on for a little or for free, or if you just need someone to kind of look over legalese, because even this,
what does it say
it's so
here?
much.
Unless other arrangements made, if the tenant does not dispute the deductions of the amount. Oh, this is the law.
Yeah, this is
the 14
law.
days.
The 14 days, getting back what's payable.
People, I think this got lost a little bit with deposits because of all the fees that the apartments were starting to charge. So the concentration, and we tended to do that too. We concentrate on all these bogus fees that people have to pay, and not as much about the deposits people are losing, which is a lot of money. So yeah, that's great. I mean, if you can get, document before you move in, document after. If there's a change, that's the only thing you're responsible for.
And like I was saying, getting lost in legalese, even this sentence is, once they give you that itemized list, you have a right to dispute it. That could, if you need the deposit and things faster, that can take 60 days and all of it needs to be certified mail and, in writing. So, but if you have the time to fight it, do it.
And that rental car thing I brought up out of the blue earlier, actually, same thing here. Take pictures before you get in the car. Take pictures after you get out, because you're going to be responsible for things that, possibly, and you'll have proof that you didn't do it. All right, let's move on to another subject. This one is, all right, this one involves this deed thing I talked about. Julie, if we can go to that one. What does it say there?
Sorry.
Give that up. Received a letter after just recently getting added to a deed from my mom's house. The address they sent, in the mail to us where I live. Let's see. All correct for the house for the deed except the condo number. My mortgage broker said to send you guys information. Okay, potential scam. Yeah, and then let's get a picture of what it looks like. That's the next one. This is what it appears to be. It's basically, okay, here's the deal. I think this, I can't tell. I'm not saying this is an out-and-out scam. I'm just saying that you don't need to do this. I mean, you can record your deeds recorded. You can record your deed and do that. And that's all something you do for free, with the county recorder's office. This is a service that says they will do that for you for $112. And it makes it look like you have to do it. Recorded deed notice, recommends all homeowners obtain a copy of the property deed. So it's that kind of stuff. It's also like they used to do this thing where they would come around and, you paint your numbers on the curb, and that you had to have it done. You don't have to have that done. That's not something that somebody for 150
like that,
bucks.
like you said, like notice. It's kind of those words that, like, when I think notice, I think I'm already late. I'm behind on something.
Yeah.
I didn't do something.
It looks very official here. Service fee, $112. No, so if you get these kinds of things, you can do this stuff for free. And a lot of the stuff you get like that, just check to see, especially if it's involving the government, you might be able to do it for free. All right, let's move on.
Next one. So this person wrote in, it's a bit of a longer one, and it said, "Hi Joe, I made an impulsive purchase of travel club membership through Club Travelo. I don't know if I'm saying that right, in Scottsdale for $17,500 with my credit card, and realized that it was not the best decision. I found out they'd only been in business since January and had poor reviews. According to their purchase agreement, I had 72 hours to cancel without penalty." So first of all, I don't know this club. We haven't reached out to them. We don't know anything about it. Could totally be fine. This person just felt iffy after making the deal. But I brought this up because they brought up the 72 hours, and I figured we should talk about the 3-day cancellation rule, because so many people ask it and they say, "Oh, I had 3 days to cancel," and we're like, "Well, but you didn't," because it's misunderstood. But before I even get to that, a good rule of thumb: $17,500 for a one thing. If you're gonna, my rule for spending money, it's honestly, I hate parting with any money, first of all, but if I spend like anything over $100, unless it's groceries and I need it, like, just take a breath for a second. Because they said, they had almost instant regret, but that's a lot of money.
Well, you know what are the rules about that? Because 72 hours, timeshares have 10 days. And I'm not sure this is a timeshare. I don't think it is. It's a travel club, but they share them. They do them that way, though. They kind of treat them like, I guess this wouldn't be a deed, so maybe it doesn't fit into the timeshare, but I think you have 10 days with it when it's related to timeshares.
Yeah, so the next slide is, I actually pulled from an article that you had done about the 3-day cancellation, since they brought it up.
Look at that picture. 1998.
I just love the headline. When do you get 3 days to cancel a purchase? Hint, not often. So I wanted to talk about when you actually do get 3 days. So it really doesn't apply to as many things as people think. So it covers at-home transactions, which are, you might feel pressured because people are in your home. So you might sign something that you felt coerced, pushed into kind of doing. And it has to be more than $25. And it also covers situations kind of like where you might be stressed, like at home, but when you're not home and you might not have time to read the fine print. So like trade shows, kind of fairs, like places where you can't sit down and go over a contract, or you might feel pressured.
Like that wedding thing you go to, the big wedding thing that I went to before ours, which is so bogus. Sorry.
Oh, like
but the wedding
like the
gala,
wedding show,
it's just a bunch of people trying to sell you
like
stuff.
A bunch of extras.
Yeah, and all of it, it's just wrong. I don't know. And anyway, if you sign up there, though, you can get the 3-day rule because it's outside of the place. But
But I really wanted to bring up, it doesn't apply to things, like you said, it doesn't apply to timeshares. It doesn't apply to cars. And that's something that we've seen a lot of people who've written in and said, I thought I had 3 days after they don't like it. Does not apply to cars, and it doesn't apply to real estate. But
so everybody thinks you have a 3-day rule. You don't. You have more in some cases, and you have less in most cases. Time to, in fact, you buy it, you kind of bought it. right? Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to like what I was saying. If you're going to spend such
Yeah.
a large amount of money, unless it's, you know, a necessity, like
Yeah.
like food, you know, things like that you absolutely need, like if
Yeah.
you can take a breath, just take a breath.
Unless you know, you will of course have more rights if you charged it on a credit card, because then you have 90 days to be able to dispute the charge. Now, if it's a legitimate thing, the credit card company may take it off briefly and then put it back on because they're saying, hey, you bought it. You know, it's like they gave it to you.
Right.
You know, if you don't get it, something you can dispute through your credit card company.
Also, it was just so interesting how they said in the contract that they put in the 72 hours.
Yeah.
That's not something that we see a lot of. So
all right, let's go to number 5 here. This is about HOAs. My daughter and I are relocating back to the East Coast in a few weeks. The inexpensive way for us to move is a pod. You've seen those pods. Actually, they're great ideas. They move your stuff, put it in a thing, and dump it on your thing.
And then move out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And we do the move out here. We bought a house in an HOA community. The HOA committee denies us having a pod because it is unsafe to the community. How can this be a danger? We don't understand how this HOA can tell us we can't have a pod for our move. The pod will be picked up the next day, and it will not be blocking anything. I agree with you. Oh my gosh, HOAs. HOAs and school boards. No, I won't say it. It's probably school board members, but HOAs are like the beginning. It's just
like PTAs. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, PTAs, school boards too, but PTAs, where you know I understand the need for them in some cases, but this case, I mean, a pod. What's going on here? And I wanted to go over a couple of things. There's another one here. Let's go to the next one too about an HOA. Julie, placed in collections by HOA without prior notice. They say there were 2 missed payments totaling $390, including late fees. Now it's $1,673. The bills should have went to our new address and not the old address. Not even one attempt was made to help. All right. So the first one basically says there's an issue here, right? The second one says what tends to happen when you don't take care of the issue. You get fined. So if say they use a pod, they're going to get fined for that pod, and they're not going to want to pay, and then it's going to come on another month. And then what they do is property management companies, in many cases, hire attorneys, and they send you notices. And before, you know, it was this nothing thing, is now $2,000, and now you can't pay it. So now you're in arrears again, and another month goes by, and more money's set on. And I've seen people with, that's where they start. I mean, in extreme cases that it happens, they try to take your house, foreclose on your house because you're not paying the bill that started as $390 in this case. Suddenly it's $1,670. So, you know, HOAs, I understand in some cases barely, but why they might be necessary to keep things up. You live in a non-HOA area.
I
totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Specifically, we went through and found out, had there ever been an HOA? Would it come back?
But most of these places around here are developments, and they all have these HOAs. And I think it's because it takes the pressure off the cities. The HOA now does a lot of the code enforcement. The cities don't have to. You know, I mean, Phoenix does.
I don't know if it's code enforcement or if it's busybodiness, though.
Well, what they say, though, is code enforcement. Like the paint is not the same. The chipping happens, the weeds, the blah, 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 blah. But anyway.
I feel like pods and like when you're doing like big renovations or stuff to your house and like maybe you have a dumpster out in front or something, there's something about that like sets people off.
I know.
Even though like a pod, you're obviously moving, so you obviously have a time limit to like when you're gonna go. But
I agree.
I don't know.
All right, let's go to the last thing here about the homeowner association dispute process. That's something that you can turn to if you got an issue with an HOA. Through the real estate commissioner's office, there's a homeowners association dispute process. I'm just trying to see how much it's up to now, though. Certain amount of money you have to pay. I think it's expensive. It's like $500, maybe $400, $500, something like that. You can look it up through the real estate commissioner of Arizona. I think this is the Department of Real Estate in Arizona, and I think it's like $500. But you get a hearing in this case, and then if you win, you get that money back. So that's a good thing to do if it's something like this, you know, like the $1,600 or whatever.
$500 is a lot less than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,600. Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
The next one, I know
we're
getting short, but the next one, so it's not a consumer complaint that was brought up, but it's something that happened this week, that a headline that kind of caught my eye. FTC sends nearly $7 million in refunds to consumers harmed by medical discount plans sold as health insurance. And I mean, we're going through open enrollment. So many people are going through open enrollment, you know, setting up for next year. So I just thought this was really important to kind of point out. So this one was specifically, it was Consumer Health Benefits Association. But what the FTC says is that they targeted people who had previously searched like affordable healthcare plans and then cold called them and basically said that we have something that, oh yeah, it's accepted just like health insurance. Oh, it'll be way cheaper and all these things. But I mean, they're not legitimate. Like there's a reason that there are legitimate healthcare plans is because they have all these deals. You have to work with hospitals, you have to work through procedures. And then, you know, I mean, that's what the Affordable Care Act was, you know, whatever, we're not getting into that, but there are affordable options and it's healthcare.gov. It was just, you know, they sound so good, but then what if you go to the doctor and all of a sudden you're not covered? Now you have to pay like $2,000 because you're not covered.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Amen. Amen, sister. That's I say the same thing. We're running out of time here. I know some people we didn't get to you. I'm sorry about that. There is a phone bank that we have tonight. It's about veterans. If you're a veteran and you have issues involving, that's 1999. If you have an issue involving not getting benefits or those kinds of things, we have attorneys in studio from 5 to 7 o'clock. You can give them a call. Find that number on ABC15 at 5 and at 6. And ask your questions. We're partnered with State Bar of Arizona, so that starts at 5 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, we'll see you next time and every day on ABC 15 mornings.
Okay.
Bye, guys.